Welcome, dear ones. This is Katarina Satori, and while this platform is letting my community know that I am live, hi everyone. I apologize for a bit of a delay. We're always in the now. Good, beautiful now. We're always in the now. Hi everyone, welcome. I just started this broadcast. For some reason, my iPad would not let me live stream on Instagram. So, I embrace the bumps of technology. You just roll with it. You just say, okay, Instagram is not helping. iPad is not helping. I have a phone. So I am here with you. I am so happy to see you. I see every single one of you. I'd love to share with you how to embody abundance as the reality that you breathe in and out. I'm gonna draw in, first of all, on my personal experience. I only teach what I embody. This is the core of my life philosophy. Don't teach it if you don't embody it, right? So years and years and years of self-transformation. And first it felt like, moving in the dark and saying, I don't know if I will ever figure this thing out, but I am determined. So welcome you. I just started this transmission. You are perfectly on time. Take a moment and let me know in the comments, where are you joining from, beloveds? I'd like to see the countries that you represent. I truly magnetize international community as a manifestation of intention that I held 10 years ago. It all starts with intention. It all starts with intention. So let me know in the comments, where are you joining us from? Us. me and a bunch of my spirit guides. And I'd like to introduce myself while you're typing in the comments, where are you joining us from? It's Katarina Satori here. I am a mentor, teacher, mystic, online educator, entrepreneur. My friends and my students and my clients lovingly call me an expander. This is my main soul gift. I expand people. I liberate their minds from oppressive thoughts and beliefs, from any kind of constriction. And I take people from one level to the next. This is the gift that I carry. Hi, everyone. Yes. Good to see you, beloveds. And I do it in a variety of ways. In the last 8 years, I've been sharing my message online. I've built a whole library of courses that you can access. There's a ton of content that I give away for free on my YouTube. And I love being here on social media with you. And in this live stream, I'd like to share with you the key to embodying abundance on all levels of your being, right? So I draw not only on my personal experience, but also on my deep obsession with psychology. I took, psychology classes in my third college. I was always on the front row. I was fascinated by what makes us humans tick. I also draw on different modalities of really studying subconscious mind. And what I see, the main challenge when somebody is really struggles living in the reality of abundance is the inner conflict between their subconscious mind and the conscious desire, right? So the subconscious mind is I imagine, the most elite racehorse that has 97% more power than your conscious awareness. Our subconscious mind gets imprinted by everything that you've experienced in the first 7 years of your life. And I'd like to give a voice to this deeper today, drawing on my experience and on maybe some examples of people that I worked with. Why it's important to understand, because what has happened in your environment in the first 3 years of your life, 5 years of your life, 7 years of your life becomes a software of your life becomes a programming that you begin to live. And it's completely unconscious, meaning that you cannot see it. If you saw it, you would change it. But you don't see it. You're oblivious to it. It's like the major blind spot in your conscious mind. So what you're gonna do on some points of your journey of empowerment on the level of higher self, you're gonna call in messengers, right? You're gonna call in somebody who will act as a mirror for you, who help you realize, whoa, look at this unconscious belief that you've been holding on without awareness. And once you see it and it doesn't make sense to you, you're gonna let it go. You can't let go of what you're not aware of. This is number one principle. If you're not aware that you have an unconscious resistance to prosperity, it's unconscious to you, right? You're gonna feel the effect of it in a variety of ways. So once I have realized that, I became relentless in examining my subconscious mind like a consciousness detective. Every moment of time, I would lift up the hood of my subconscious mind through different modalities, through muscle testing, right? Through taking myself to self-hypnosis, through trance, right? I was so relentless to figure this out because I was tired feeling like I'm living in unconscious chains, ancestral unconscious chains. Right? Are you resonating with this topic? We're just warming up, beloveds. We are just beginning. Welcome to this portal of conversation. I love this topic so much. Let's demystify abundance. Abundance is an experience of plenty. Abundance, when you truly embody it, and there's a different degrees of embodiment, it's a deep cellular knowing. There is always enough. There is plenty of inspiration. There is plenty of ideas. There's plenty of opportunities of service. And you know it from such level of certainty as you know that the sun rises every morning. Right? So for example, you have seen sun rising every morning again and again and again, so you don't doubt it. You don't go to sleep at night worrying, will the sun get up tomorrow? I don't know. I can't sleep because I'm so anxious if the sun is going to get up tomorrow. I know it's a silly example, but that's an example of you knowing something from the place of embodiment that worry cannot hijack your mind. You know it. And if you know it, your life demonstrated. Your life mirrors your deepest beliefs. Our life mirrors our deepest beliefs. So take any area of your life where you don't feel abundant. You got it? Can you think of one? Okay. So this is the area of your life where your next or current greatest curriculum is. This is the area of your life where you would be wise to become relentless and excavating the parts of your personality, your personal reality, that still holds on to inner conflict because your subconscious programming your conscious awareness. I'm going to give you an example to make it more clear. Right? Hi everyone, so good to be with you. So good to be with you. So I'll give you an example on how this works. Okay, let's talk about specifically financial abundance, right? And taking an example that your subconscious mind programming, the most solidified imprints happen in the first 5 years, 5 to 7 years. Imagine that your first 7 years, your body is like a recording device. Your body records everything. Emotional environment of your caregivers, your body just soaks it in. soaks it into cellular memory. So everything that you heard as a child about money, about having enough, not enough, it went deep, 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 deep into your subconscious, right? So let's go deeper. And this is my favorite topic to work with people. It's my favorite because when you realize, first you hear something as a child, as a thought, and you receive emotional imprint. When you hear it again and again and again, the thought becomes a thought form, like a cloud of energy. When that cloud of energy grows and grows and grows from your environment, it becomes a belief. Belief is a set of glasses that you see the world. This is why our reality is a reflection of our core beliefs. So if we desire to heal our relationship with abundance, with our deep knowing that the universe is benevolent in nature, it's not a jungle that we get to, live in fear and in anxiety and compete. And if I have more, you have less. That's one way to live. Exhausting and very sad. I'd rather do this brave work of looking into my subconscious beliefs. So I'll give you an example. When I began diving deep into, wow, I'm curious, what was happening in the first 5 years of my life? Well, 5 years of my life, I lived in Soviet Union, right? Anybody else here who grew up in Soviet Union? And if you are, you know exactly what I will share with you, because my earliest memories was the memories of scarcity. Our government would pull the products out of the stores. So people would wake up and they would say, we have a shortage of butter. We have nationwide shortage of butter. So everybody goes to the stores and literally you see long lines, dozens of people waiting for the crumbs that the government throws them. What do you think it does to your self-esteem where you grew up in that kind of environment? If you were raised by parents who had to live in scarcity, who had to live in it's never enough, we always wait, there is always shortage, there is always this lacking, that lacking, this lacking, right? So when I began excavating that, and I remember as a little girl, I was waiting in line with my mom. There's 1 month we were waiting in line for milk. What I'm saying, waiting in line, you would wait 2 hours, sometimes 3, just to get the darn milk. What does it leave on your subconscious mind if you're only 5 years old? The imprinting of shortage, imprinting of scarcity, imprinting of not enough, right? So when you do the work of digging, what happened in your first 5 years of your life? What happened in your first 7 years of life? What happened during your birth time? The 70% of impact, emotional, energetic impact happens during the birth trauma, right? So all of that creates lenses through which we begin to see and make unconscious decision. The world is safe, the world is frightening, the world has plenty, the world is not enough, right? So, scarcity, empty shelves, empty shelves. Then I uncovered another second belief, which was such a surprise for me, where we can unconsciously hold ourselves back. Usually that imprint, hi Yara, we became hoarders and live in fear. Thank you so much for this comment. I'm from Hungary, completely understand. Energy is still there, is why I moved to the US. Exactly. Everybody who is from Soviet Union who had an opportunity to leave, we left, right? because the collective still holds that imprinting, and it's really challenging to create something new. So beloveds, the impact of these beliefs, they are deeply buried in the software of unconscious mind. And this is why we would be very, very smart to do the subconscious mind work and to seek the support and to seek the community to uncover those blind spots, because it's incredibly difficult to see them on your own, right? So then the next limiting belief around money that I've uncovered was a very classic belief that I see in a lot of people who come to me for guidance, who experience some kind of a glass ceiling in their work, right? And it's unconscious loyalty or deep belief that says, do not outshine others. Do not be different. Your uniqueness is not safe. Again, if you grew up in Soviet Union like myself, you remember everybody was wearing the same uniforms. Everybody was told, be like everybody else. Don't stand out. You know, nobody is rewarded here for originality. Innovation is not rewarded. It's not welcomed, right? So it's really important to understand that as an adult, that belief doesn't make sense to you and you would not hold on to it. But your software, your subconscious mind has all those tapes that I keep playing that says, oh, no. You can only make this much money. If you make more than that, oh my gosh, somebody will lose, somebody will suffer, somebody will pay the price. So don't grow. Hold yourself back. It is safe to stay where you are. Do not outshine others. Right? Powerful stuff. So this is the process that I called excavation of your abundance blocks. And it's really powerful. You know, I recently went through a training to become a facilitator of this incredible psycho-spiritual modality called Psych-K. And at the end of this month, I'm going to the round 2 into advanced training. And it's really powerful. It's using the muscle testing to identify the core beliefs that get in the way of you creating the reality that you desire. Now, beloveds, I do what I desire to do. I recently opened up a new community called Wisdom Collective. And right now I'm highlighting this opportunity. I wanted to take a moment to let you know what will be happening there. But one of the things that I will be bringing during this live mystical hours, we meet twice a month for an hour. And what I wanted to bring is I wanted to bring a topic each month. There's going to be a topic. And then I will be taking the group through these subconscious mind beliefs transformation, where we can use the power of muscle testing to find the core beliefs of the group and shift them. I wanted to offer that because I see so many people are just, making 3 steps forward, 6 steps back, and wobbling in isolation. It's very easy to lose your center and to lose your power and to lose your momentum when you are by yourself in isolation. We are communal beings. We are communal beings. So for those of you who already saw the great value of this experience and have joined, I honor you and I welcome you. And I just wanted to make sure that you know this opportunity exists. And I often get, people send me private messages, people reach out to me and I say, I finally have something to offer you that is so accessible that you don't need to pay 5-6 figure fees to work with me one-on-one. Okay? Those of you who see the value, you can join. We start next Wednesday and our topic is abundance. Abundance. Now let's talk about Goddess Lakshmi. Let's talk about this divine being who is, whew, wow, the moment I invoke Lakshmi, Lakshmi is truly a deity, right? It's a divine being that has been revered for tens of thousands of years. This is the lineage that comes to us from Hindu tradition, from Indian tradition, from sacred Vedas. And when it comes to Lakshmi, Lakshmi is all about self-worth. So if you find yourself unable to attract, to manage, or to generate prosperity on a consistent basis, the number one reason I would consider is there is something happening on the level of self-worth. There is something happening on your subconscious mind, right, that says, I am not worthy to be in the energy of expansion. It's unfamiliar, it's frightening, I am not worthy of it, right? So when you begin working with a goddess like Lakshmi, this is, you invoke not only good fortune, good luck, prosperity, you also begin a deep healing of self-worth. Deep, deep, deep healing of self-worth. And when I think of Lakshmi, she brings two gifts to her devotees. The gift of self-realization, illumination of your divine nature, and the gift of wealth. I have never met a goddess that has been poor. In all mystical traditions that I have studied, I've never met a goddess who doesn't know how to generate prosperity on demand. It's a sort of like external manifestation of inner mastery to figure out this prosperity topic, so we don't use it as an excuse not to show up in all our genius. We humans can use so many excuses not to move forward in our life. Lakshmi, Karita, Lakshmi, the goddess Lakshmi. So I see abundance, truly activating abundance, learning to manage it, to create it, to generate it, to manifest as a sign of inner mastery. And that is available to all of us. There is going to be a degrees of expansion, levels of expansion, right? And what I love about sharing this message to my fellow spiritual warriors, I live to see the world where spiritual people know that the more money they learn to generate, the more good they can do in the world. There is absolutely no holiness in living in struggle, in pushing away the topic of prosperity because you feel if you have more, somebody has less. When you have more and you truly live from awakened consciousness, you're gonna do more with your wealth. You're gonna do more with your prosperity. And this is the message that I see, when I read the modern philosophers of our time, such as Richard Rudd, the author of the Gene Keys. He talks about the rise of yin prosperity. The prosperity is just drawn to the feminine. I did not say to the women, I said to the feminine. Anybody who reveres the feminine, prosperity just chases them because what will heal the world is the rising of the feminine and healing the relationship between the masculine and the feminine. So anyone who is here to be on the team feminine ascension, feminine strengthening, feminine values, meaning cooperation, receptivity, surrender, honoring the goddess, honoring the earth, honoring our intuition, our gentleness, our heart, right? That's the feminine. Living in harmony. if you're here to support that evolutionary leap, wouldn't it be wise to transform any pieces of programming in your subconscious mind that you can feel the impact of it, right? It will be very wise, beloveds. Very, very wise. Just want to be with you for a minute. You know, whenever I share my stories on social media about my beginning, you know, growing up with so much lack in Soviet Union, my mom had to leave me at 1 month old with her mother, 1,000 miles away, unconsciously creating the breakage of the bond. You know, when a baby is separated from the mother during the first month of life, you create a big wound called the breaking of the bond. And the reason my mom did that is because she had no other choice. She had no other choice. My dad was in jail when I was only 5 months in the womb. All these notifications. And my mom had to raise my sister, who was only 1.5 years, whose dad, my sister and I have different fathers. My mother's first big love, my older sister father, walked out of her life when she was 7 months pregnant. Imagine the trauma that a young woman, how can you recover from that? How can you recover from that? If you don't have a therapist, if you don't have a psychologist, you don't have a spiritual guide, you don't have books, you don't have internet. You know how you recover from that? You bury the pain and you never touch it. And you become so stoic and you learn how to survive, right? So I never saw my mom thriving. Never. It's always been struggle, pain. You know, imagine that level of programming when you was a child. And so when I was like 7 or 8 years old and I looked around, I had this epiphany. If I desire a better life, oh my gosh, it's gonna be up to me to create it. So I better start devising a plan. What do I do to get out of this chaos and this, this place of oppression? And when you grow up in that kind of environment, you have two choices. You can collapse under the weight of circumstances and become a victim, or you can find the way to break through. And you say, this situation will not define me. And I'm going to transform this darkness into light. So I deeply believe we choose our circumstances on the level of the soul. So by the great design, I chose the perfect mother, I chose the perfect father, I chose the perfect, very limited circumstances to unlock my power under this fire of life and continue to break free of these limitations of what is possible for a woman, what is possible for an immigrant, what is possible, blah, 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 blah. And I continue to do this now because I truly believe we came here on the level of higher self. We came here to create. We came here for the joy of experience, for the joy of this adventure of consciousness. And we came here to play with limitations. It's a game, beloveds. It's a game. Everything you see, it's a divine game. In the Hindu tradition, they call it Leela. Divine play, Leela. So Lakshmi, let's go back to Lakshmi. If you desire self-realization as deeply as you desire wealth, she will grant you both. That's her terms. That's her terms. Because if you create wealth, but you pay the price of never realizing who you truly are, this is the biggest failure of life. But if you seek self-realization, and you open yourself up to the resources of the universe, because when you truly embody oneness, you know you have access to all resources. So there is no need to hoard. There is no need to panic. There is no need to excuse your inaction by saying, I don't have the money. You begin to laugh at those thoughts because you see through illusion and you see the truth. So this is my invitation, my friends. If you desire to work with somebody like Lakshmi, who is a great ally to have, all goddesses are great allies. They are forces of nature. You know, I love their intensity. I love their divine beauty. I love their mystery, their grace, their sensuality, their joy. You know, I have a curriculum that I taught in the year 2020 where everything was, wow, what an interesting process that we went through in 2020. And Spirit told me, let's teach the Goddess course. So I channeled this curriculum called Goddess Awakening. And the main message was that the Goddess is awakening in all of us, independently what gender your body is. The Goddess is the voice of Kundalini. You know, this ancient primordial divinity that wants to rise from the bottom of your spine. It needs to be awakened, right? To illuminate you into truth of who you really are and why you are on this planet. Why are you on this planet? It's so easy to waste time. It's so easy to waste time. And then we say, oh my gosh, time is speeding up. Time is going so fast. We're wasting time when we're not committing ourselves to the ultimate goal of human life, self-realization. When we seek self-realization, everything else comes to us because we are attuned to the guidance that comes to us from the moment. Right, beloveds? So this is the goddesses. You know, when I work with Kali, the goddess Kali, oh, I wish I had her mala. She is intense, but I love her. You know, when you stop fearing your own power, you're not afraid of the power of the cosmos. You welcome it. You welcome it. So abundance, abundance, abundance. I deeply believe it is so important to excavate the subconscious blocks and to sit down with a journal. This is a practical step, right? If you're gonna become a member of Wisdom Collective, you and I would actually sit down together on Zoom and do these exercises together. So one of the exercises that I would take my group through is actually sit down and go way back as early as you can remember and write down the messages that you heard from your father, if you had a father, from your mother, if you had a mother, or a caregiver who took care of you. Maybe you were raised by your siblings. When your family was going through stress, financial stress, what did your parents do to deal with it? That's a clue to your imprinting. That's a clue to your imprinting. You know, when my mom would be under a heavy financial stress, her energy would become so intense that when she would come home, and if my sister and I didn't clean the house the way she wanted it to clean, she would get into rage. Like rage, meaning, like something would turn on inside of her, all that suppressed pain, right? But if you don't express anger in a healthy way, it turns into rage. So, I grew up watching my mom not only being very sad and overwhelmed, but going into this massive rage that would go for half an hour, just releasing all of that, right? All the pain that she couldn't process, she would dump it on somebody who was weaker than her. Do you think she wanted to do that consciously? Do you think she wanted to damage our nervous system? Of course not. This is what you do when you live without conscious awareness of the impact of your unprocessed pain. You dump it on the people who are weaker than you, which is your children, or your partner, or somebody who is in a subordinate relationship to you. So, when I was healing my nervous system, and when I would tap into those memories and the activation of my emotional body would go into that, it's like, whoa, that level of work of transmutation. And my dear ones, even if it feels to you, gosh, this is not easy to do this work, it is worth it. Because what's the alternative? The alternative, you're going to repeat the blueprint of your parents unconsciously. So I take a stand in choosing this ongoing transformation with so much information we have available right now. It doesn't matter how old are you. It doesn't matter what your circumstances look like right now. You can start transforming your money beliefs. You just can start transforming not only your mindset. Mindset, the translation of the word mindset is a conversation that you have in your head about you and money, about you and abundance. The deeper work is that subconscious work. And I wanted to give it a voice. All right. I would like to see if you have any questions, because it's a huge topic, as you can see. It's a huge topic. And I'm going to stay with you and take your questions if you have them, beloveds. I'd like to, again, highlight an opportunity that I create a monthly spiritual growth and kind of like a mini mystery school. And this is how our flow will happen. On the first gathering of the month, you will receive a channel transmission, a specific topic, and then I take you to the place of a ritual. And the reason why a ritual is so powerful in healing and in transforming is because when we engage in a ritual, this comes to us from any shamanic tradition. If you go to a shamanic healer, after tuning into you energetically, they will take you through a ritual. A ritual takes you out of your conscious mind, out of the linear time and space, and takes you into the quantum field where all real change happens. All real change only happens in your subconscious mind, beloveds. So as somebody who has been practicing this shamanic ways of healing and subconscious mind work, this is what I do with my private clients who invest 6 figures to work with me one-on-one. We do this trance work. So I take them through a gentle hypnosis where they can, for a time being, let go of their personality. Personality creates their personal reality. Personality is just an aspect of you. I want to talk to your quantum self. When I take you through a trance or a hypnosis or a ritual, My main aim to connect to your quantum self is on the quantum level where all change is happening, right? So this is what our first gathering of Wisdom Collective will be. We will gather for a brief transmission on a topic that will be specifically channeled for the group. And then I'll take you through the process of ritual, right? To anchor and solidify the change on the quantum level. And then we're going to practice. We're going to practice a new way of being, because I am, at this point of my journey and of my career as online educator, I am less and less interested in giving you more and more information. You can Google anything. But why we see so little change? Because so many people still don't know how to turn that spiritual information into embodied knowledge, into embodied wisdom, right? And embodied wisdom, when you truly embody something, your life demonstrated. That's it. It's how simple it is. So I wanted to create a soul oasis for embodiment practices. So we embody, we grow together, we transform together, right? So you can take a look at the link in bio, see everything that comes with it. I do not promise to have this offer indefinitely open. It's an experiment. It's an experiment for me, but at least until June, I have it open. And then we will see what I will be inspired to do with it. So if you desire to join us, it is currently offered at $88 per month. It is so accessible. My private fees start at $5,000 per month. You can't hire me for anything less. So the higher I make my private fees, and I only work with 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs, I wanted to create something super accessible for a lot more people, to create these soul oasis transformational experiences. If you see the value, join us while it is offered. And at the end of this month, I'm going to my advanced training. I am just in awe of this modality that I'm being trained as a facilitator called Psych K. Any Psych K practitioners over here? So if you have heard about Bruce Lipton, who is a pioneer in epigenetics, Bruce Lipton wrote Biology of the Belief, Spontaneous Evolution. Bruce Lipton was and is a PhD in biology, who was absolutely obsessed with the study of cells, how cells communicate. And he have discovered that our thoughts, our emotions have a direct impact on our cells, on every single cell. So any real change happens in our unconscious mind. So if we know that our cells are impacted, we get to talk to ourselves, right? We get to talk to subconscious mind. So it's really, really powerful. Yes, I love him, the Bruce Lipton. Anyway, my loves, I think I am approaching an hour, and Instagram will kick me out. I just wanted to invite you all. This is the offering that has been in my creative room for over a year. I built it last year, and it was just not time to launch it. And now it's open, and you can join us while the invitation stands. I hope you, if you just joined, I hope you will take the time to rewatch this live stream. I was sharing a lot of incredible things about abundance blocks, beloveds, and that it doesn't have to be our reality. I'm really taking a stand, for my fellow genuine spiritual seekers. Yes, that was a packed one. Exactly, Ara. Because I know when awakened people become abundant, they can bring so much good to the world. We can do very little with no money. This is the reality conversation, I don't even have a conversation with people who have resistance to money. I don't try to convince them otherwise, because it's going to take some time to awaken to the reality, But for those of us who understand money is energy, money is a resource. And when we come to a healthy relationship with the resource, we begin to create a lot of good in the world. We begin to live nourished. We begin to live as creators of our life. And what I'm here to share with you, beloveds, it's one thing to know how to create from stress and from survival. I know that path really well. But everything changed the moment I began to create true financial stability for my life. I began to bring, the level of creative liberation that you tap into when you anchor prosperity. It's so inspiring. And that's what I desire for a lot more people to experience. I love you, beloveds. Thank you so much for your not your questions, your comments. I'm seeing them right now. Rose, she says, I'll be joining at the end of this week. Thank you for creating this. It feels it's been designed for me. I am so, so, so happy. Yes, Rose, thank you. I'll be happy to have you. Ara says, thank you so much. This live stream was a packed one. Yes, I love you too, beloveds. And I'm happy that I spent some time on Instagram, on this Instagram live. And it's a little gloomy. It's been really gloomy the last couple of days. Today I woke up to a heavy rain. And I was, the very first thought when I woke up, I was like, what if this is the rain of abundance? The rain of grace, the rain of truth that is falling on our planet. And we're rising together and we're shining our voice, and it's much supportive to do it together. It can feel so lonely on the path of ascension, specifically on the path of accelerated spiritual growth. I encourage everyone to find your tribe, to find your allies, to find your community. You will take many quantum leaps forward when you have a community that you are in resonance with. And this is why Wisdom Collective exists. Be blessed. Until next, I see you soon.